I'm Cheryl, and I work for Access, and I am here today with David Hope from the band Apocalyptic Lovers. Hi, David.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I am good. We are here to talk about some new things that you are doing with your band. For those people that don't know the band well, could you tell me a little bit about the band, who's in it, and what do they play?
Yeah, sure. We're like, we all grew up on the 70s, 80s arena rock, so we're huge fans of like Rat and Dawkins, the early stuff, Old Foreigner, so melodic, heavy rock. That's kind of like our vibe. But we don't sound dated though. We got that modern feel to it, and that's the stuff we write. And we were together in the 90s under another band name, and we'll probably touch on that later. So I'll just move on. The nice thing about this project was, we had a core group of guys that filtered for three bass players, and we actually retained two of them in this new project. So we're a band with two bass players. Those guys played on different stuff in the studio, and live they're going to switch on and off between rhythm guitar. So we have a little bit thicker sound, which is kind of cool. So there's of course myself on drums and backing vocals. And then our lead guitar player, he lives in Rhode Island. His name is Sean McGee, and he does the bulk of the writing and also sings backing vocals. And he actually shreds. He's like a George Lynch type. Anybody like George? Yeah, anybody likes George Lynch should definitely check out Sean's playing. Then we have Rob Kane. He's my lead singer. He lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And then we have bass player number one. He's the in-the-pocket bass player with the absolute incredible voice. His name is George Allen. He's the one that still lives in Ohio, and kind of like our home base area from when we were together in the 90s. George still lives back there. He's a real solid in-the-pocket kind of bass player. Great. I mean, he sang lead on a bunch of covers, when we were in a cover band together. He had a good voice. So George is great. And then our other bass player, his name is Mike Nicky. He lives in Virginia. And anybody that's a bass player or likes bass players, like Billy Sheehan and Stu Ham and that kind of stuff, Mike absolutely shreds. I mean, he can do finger tapping. He can play the peanut theme on his bass. He plays a fretless, like 7-string bass or some crazy shit like that. He's phenomenal.
Okay.
And the cool thing is there's no big egos. Everybody gets along, and we were on hiatus for a while, and we're all back together doing what we love, writing and recording, and hopefully playing some shows here and there.
That is very cool. Well, I'm glad that you're back and in a new format, right?
Yeah, right?
So you consider yourself, well, what genre would you consider yourself? Hard rock?
Yeah, I mean, growing up, when we grew up, people would have said we were like a hair metal band. I hate that term because it's more about the visual than it is the music. I mean, the musicians in my band are phenomenal.
Right.
But melodic rock, hard rock,
okay.
Melodic metal, whatever you want to call it.
Well, I think your fans are very excited because you have a new EP out, and it's called Redemption Volume 1, and it came out on April 16, so it's been a little bit here. And it was mixed by Michael Wagner, and a lot of music fans know that he is a pretty big name in working with bands, has worked with a lot of other 80s bands. So can you tell me a little bit about what it was like to work with Michael?
Yeah, and I'll even back up a little bit because it's been kind of a fun story. We initially just got back together because we were really unhappy with how our full-length CD came out under another band name before we took a hiatus. And we were basically all just like, let's just get back together and, do maybe 6 songs from that album. We'll rewrite them, rework them, and put two brand new songs on it. And boom, there we have something that sounds good, that we're all happy for our family and friends to hear, and we're not cringing our ears. And because I think the CDs I left over from the old band are like in a box stored somewhere. I've never listened to it.
Right.
And we all feel that way. So, we hooked up with a friend of ours that owned the studio, went in, recorded, and he started mixing it, and it was perfectly fine. It was really good. The guy's name is Josh Roman, and he got a studio called Mind Rock Studios in Bucks Middlesex, PA. We all flew in to do that. But, you know, I'm sitting there, I'm one of those people, I can't, like, just sit still and just leave things lay where they are, you know? And I got the initial mixes on, like, these sound great. I can't wait to, you know, take notes and tell them, you know, what we want to tweak and what we're going to do. And as I'm doing that, I'm sitting there, I'm like, now what can we do that's absolutely crazy for a bunch of old guys like us that, in case we're one and done, we're really, like, psyched about this. So I started going through my old LP and looking at producers. And the most common names I found were like Bob Rock, who did, you know, a lot of Motley Crue records, and Metallica, Hugh Hill, who did all the Rat albums, every one of them, and then of course Michael Wagner. And for those that don't know the name Michael Wagner, just Google him, and it's sickening how many people he worked with. He did the good stuff, like he did Master Puppet for Metallica. He did Poison's first record, which is I'm not a huge fan of Poison, but as far as their stuff, like my favorite record is the first one.
Right.
It was like really gritty and raw. He did. Everybody in the band, I think the general consensus, our general band that we all like together is Dawkins. He did all the albums with the original lineup. Yeah, he did all the Dawkins records. And it's just, he did White Lion. He did the first 2 Skid Row records. And it just goes on and on. It's just ridiculous. And the funny thing is a lot of people don't know this, but he did the single for Janet Jackson's Black Cat, which is like one of her biggest hits.
Oh, wow.
Thing, you know?
I did not know that.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm going to email these 3 guys and see what happens. And I don't think 48 hours went past when I got an email back from Michael, and, you know, he was like, hey, I think your tunes are pretty cool. And I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe he responded. And I was like shocked. And so we started chatting back and forth email-wise, and then the next thing I know, I'm calling my buddy, I'm like, hey, dude, Michael Wagner's going to mix our thing. And so my singer, Rob, and I grabbed flights and shot down to Nashville, Tennessee, where Michael has his Wire World studio. And we sat with him, and it was mixed over about 11 days. And, you know, the funny story about Michael is, you know, Rob got there a few hours before me, and they already started on our opening cut called Better Days.
Okay.
And I walked in the studio, and they, dude, you got to hear this. And they played it, and I kind of got my hair on my arm.
You were
so then, before
very
we
excited.
Right? And before we started back in, you know, we all started talking. And I brought up the same fact I just brought to you, to Michael, and Rob agreed that, you know, we just absolutely love Dawkins, and we love how the album sounded back in the day. And we love for our record. If our album sounded like an under lock and key in the year 2016, we'd be ecstatic, blah, 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 you know. So he thought that was kind of funny. And he's like, you know, I could probably get Don on the phone and talk to you guys, but we never get any work done. He likes to talk a lot, just like you, and he's talking to me, so I'm shut up.
That's so funny.
Then, yeah, right? So then we jump back in on the song, and Michael finishes it, he listens to it one last time, and we're very happy with it. Like, Rob and I are just gleaming. This is like the first tune, and it just sounds like how we always envisioned it sounding. And he goes, he slams his hand on the desk, and he goes, there you go, you've been Dawkinized.
Wow.
That was kind of like the running turn, the rest of the mix for all the other songs. It's like we knew it was done when we called it Dawkinized.
Right. that is a pretty awesome thing that he worked with you guys.
And he's still, you know, we've had a bunch of reviews come out on the EP, KMAC.com, Paramount Mansion, and Decibel Geek podcast. Like all 3 of those in the past 3 weeks, boom, 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 hit right in a row and did reviews that we didn't even know they were doing. And they all came out phenomenal. And Michael actually even, you know, shared a couple of them, which was really nice on social media.
Right.
And people seem to be really open and really digging the record and how it sounds and everything. So we're really excited.
That is exciting. And now that you've recorded the EP, you have to go out and support it. So I understand that you're doing a show. You're doing a special show back in your hometown, basically, or that area of the world, anyway.
Correct. Yes.
And you will be doing that on Saturday, July 23rd. So that is coming up soon. And
yes, it is.
and so this, right, this is kind of a unique show because you do live in different parts of the country now. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, you know, going back to the story I just said before, it's like we just did this to walk away with something that we liked, you know. So we weren't even planning on playing out. And live for, do a one-off,
Right.
And the next thing I know, it was so funny because when we were together in the other band, but with a different band name, it was like pulling teeth to like even get a hold of record labels or get a hold of like promoters and stuff like that to even talk to you or give you a letter back and forth. This is back before email,
Right.
And I literally reached out to no one because it wasn't that I wasn't thinking of it. I just didn't want to get the disappointment or the frustration you get with that sort of thing,
Sure.
And we actually had people reach out to us via email, So we have a great website up there, and it's got, videos and music and, everything you could want, for a band on a website there. And, after we put out there that we were working with Michael Wagner, it was like, flies on what. And so this little hometown gig, we were like, okay, let's do a gig. And the next thing it was like, well, if we're going to do a gig, let's blow the roof off the place. So,
right.
We decided to sell our own tickets online so we could actually afford to blow the roof off the place. So we're actually bringing in a sound system that used to tour with us back in the day. They don't even do bar gigs anymore. But they heard the Michael Wagner thing and kind of, they had a good relationship with us. So they're bringing in a on-the-road, big touring sound system to this little bar.
Wow.
So it's going to sound awesome. And then we have a good friend that runs his own lighting company. And we're bringing in enough lights to we'll probably blow the power in the place. And then we're bringing in we're doubling the size of the stage there. We're bringing in a stage section. We're bringing in a drum riser. We're packing an arena. We're putting on the biggest arena-sized show that we can in this little bar. And lo and behold, now we've been contacted by various and numerous promoters and labels that are interested in coming. And some said they're coming. Some said, "Are you shooting?" The bottom line comes back to everybody wants to know if we can pull off Boston. So I'm like, sure, come to our show. It just happened to work out that way. So some are coming. Some really were curious to know if we were filming it, which we are. We're doing, what's that word I want to use for archival purposes?
Right, like a one-night only video.
Yeah, we wanted to shoot our own DVD. We never thought in a million years we'd be able to sell our own DVD. So we got probably 3 to half a dozen cameras that are going to be there hooked up to the board, and we're shooting good quality video. So, we have something else. Now, not only are we going to use it for us, we're also going to send it as a promoter that wants a copy of it, and a couple labels want a copy of it when we're done, because they can't make it. And who knows, And from there on out, we're very open to playing some other shows. And just we don't want to do a lot. We're all older, have families, but we're very open to doing some shows that are worth doing that have target audiences that like our kind of music.
Right.
And for us to go play in Wisconsin in front of about 25 people that like Disturbed and Nickelback, probably not be in our best interest.
Probably, yeah, probably not. And it is.
But there's a tour right now. There's a festival called Farm Rock, and it's an 80s, melodic rock metal fest, and it's almost monthly in different states. And something I don't care if we went on first. Because when we went on first, people would totally dig our music and hopefully go online or stop at the merch booth and buy our stuff because it's fresh and it's new, but it sounds familiar, so they're going to really dig it.
Right.
That's the kind of thing we're shooting for. Right now, we're just shooting for some different markets, and if we can play a half dozen shows and go back in and record volume 2 of our EP, that'd be awesome.
So, and the name of the club, just so people know, it's the New Manhattan in Hubbard, Ohio. So
yeah, we're all basically. Most people have heard of Cleveland, Ohio. Some people have heard of Youngstown, Ohio. Hubbard, Ohio is a suburb of Youngstown, Ohio.
Okay.
And a good friend of mine manages and runs a club called the New Manhattan there, and it's pretty much given us the run of the place to do what we want, so we can put on a great show for everybody. So what's cool is it's normally the type of club that has cover bands play there and do 3 sets of music, and it's free to get in. And we're doing, our full EP front to back. We're playing the whole thing. We're playing one new song from our next EP. We're gonna take a break and eat and drink with everybody afterwards. Hopefully sell some merchandise, and then we're doing what we're calling it the after party.
Right.
So we fired our old manager for one of the reasons was she would never allow us to have guest musicians come up and jam with us doing covers and stuff.
Sure.
And we thought that was just silly. So the after party part of this show, where we've reached out to a lot of the local musicians we always wanted to jam with, and said, hey, come jam some cover tunes with us. And so we're doing a second set that's like 13 songs of, it's kind of like a tribute to the music we grew up on. It's all going to be like 80s hair metal.
How cool is that? That is,
Yeah,
that is just way cool.
Yeah, and we're hoping, we got, people coming from out of town just to get up and jam with us, and it's going to be a good time. So, anybody that comes out is going to get a full night of music. They're going to hear our whole EP live, and they're going to hear some big hits from the hair metal 80s. So.
They might not let you leave. They might make you do a second night of this, right?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, you might not survive that, right? 2 nights in a row.
Being my age and playing drums the way I do, man, it's brutal.
Now, you also have a video that you put out a short time ago for the song Killing for a Living, and that's on your Facebook page and other websites, I'm sure. And you were telling me that you guys were huge Iron Maiden fans, and this video is a little bit of a nod to Iron Maiden. Tell me about that.
Well, going back to, we all grew up in that era, when MTV first came out, and it was like, you were like, what do you do on the weekends when you were a kid? You were glued to your television watching these rock bands who you thought were God,
Right.
And, we always, we were all Iron Maiden fans. I mean, Steve Harris is a great bass player. Mika, the drummer, is one of my favorite drummers. Who doesn't love Bruce Dickinson on vocals? I mean, they're just like the epitome of heavy metal. I mean, when I think of metal, I think of, I don't think of, I like old Metallica, but I just don't think of Metallica. When I think of somebody who says the word metal, I think of Dio, I think of Judas Priest, and I think of Iron Maiden, you know? And we had just done a video for one of our new songs called Change of Frequency, and that one came out, because we were only going to do one. We were like, okay, if we're going to do a video, it's big and bold, and we'll do the brand new song called Change of Frequency. People should check that video out. It's really awesome. It's it's written from the perspective of the person who passed away, and anybody who's ever lost somebody will really connect to that song. And the cool thing is the person has written about 8 ballads, so it's not one. So it's a rockin' song, and they should check that out. But that kind of spawns the idea of like, hey, let's do maybe a couple more, because we just did finish Killing for a Living, and my wife does all the videos with me. Okay. And I was like, we're all Iron Maiden fans, and the whole Killing for a Living makes me think of like, the Run to the Hills video, the black and white footage of the Indians on bicycles and the cavalry and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, we should do like kind of like a tip of the hat to the old Iron Maiden videos. And she's like, oh, we could totally do that, and they would be sweet. So she and I just like kind of storyboarded it and came up with some ideas. And the finished product, everybody in the band was totally ecstatic with it. And pretty much people that have seen the video, when we say they have to nod Iron Maiden, they're like, oh my God, dude, that's awesome. Yeah. And I have seen the video, and it is very good. It's very addictive. If you watch it once, you want to keep watching it. So it's kind of spawned, we really like doing the video, so it's kind of spawned something. So we're going to do a third one that's going to hopefully be out in, I'd say probably August or September, the very latest. So it's for a bluesy song on the album called The Groove, and it's going to be very different than the other 2 videos, and it's going to be a very, very sexy video. That's all I can really say. Okay. That's going to be good. But definitely, the people should definitely check Killing for this movie out. And there's an inside joke towards the end of that video. There's a video footage of 2 bears fighting in the woods. Okay. And there's an inside joke about that, and I'm going to leave it hanging there. Some other time we'll talk about don't tell us. You have to surprise us with that. Yeah. So it sounds like the band has so many good things coming up. You have the EP out. You have 2 videos out. You got to work with great people on this, and you have a show, this awesome show coming up. So things are really going well for the band, and you're going to have a part 2 to the EP, so that'll be great coming up, the next video. So you have all kinds of stuff going on, and who would have thought? We didn't think this was going to happen. And it's fun. We're just writing it out and seeing what happens. Yeah. And for people that remember you from years ago, we'll just
tell them your name. You didn't mention it before. Love and War was the name of your band. So if there's anyone listening or anyone seeing your webpage and maybe knew you back years ago, they can say, "Whoa, they're back," and have a whole new set of things going on, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, we were a bunch of guys that grew up on 80s arena rock that basically, and I might get killed for saying this, but I've been very PC up to this point, but I'm kind of tired of like being QC. We got really sick of a lot of the hair metal stuff that was coming out in the late 80s because, quite honestly, a lot of the writing was garbage.
Right.
I mean, you can only sit there and sing about, getting your you know what sucked.
Right.
So long, and it just got so homogenized and so vanilla and so commercially poppy that it didn't sound like it's just like every label was trying to sign something that sounded. Let me reframe that. Every label was trying to sign a band that looked like Rat or Motley Crue or Cinderella, but the quality of the music wasn't there.
But
so
they did,
we were like, all right,
I
so
get
we're like,
that.
all right, so let's just start a band and write it the way we see it and the way we used to hear it. So that's why we all listen to our own CD because it's more like rock, but it's got an edge to it and it's kind of different away sometimes too. So so we were So anyways, sorry, I got off track.
You're fine.
A lot of guys right. I do talk a lot. So we did the whole touring thing and the whole original thing and played covers when we had to make money, whatever we needed to do. We were called Love and War, and we were based out of Youngstown, Ohio, and we were around from like 91 to 97. 1994, we went to Burbank, California for a small span to a hard rock heavy metal convention called, what the hell was that called? It was called Foundations Forum, and it was put on by Concrete Marketing out of New York City.
Okay.
We went there, and I did something crazy, got us in Entertainment Weekly magazine. We were the only, there was a full-page article on that whole convention, and we were the only non-signed band mentioned.
Wow.
And it was like 48 hours later, we had 2 distribution deals overseas, and everything was going great on one end of the spectrum, but on the other end of the spectrum, our manager and the grunge scene combined were slowly eating away at the band.
Right.
So around 97, the album came out, I think, like early 96, and we tried to work it, and just, everybody was doing Soundgarden, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, and it just wasn't happening, and we even had like a tour booked overseas that, we wouldn't make a lot of money on, but everything was paid for, and we were pretty excited about that, but it just, going over there with our manager at the time, and it was like, okay, we need a break, and we just stopped.
Sure. And people get to the point in their lives as well where people want to start getting married and having kids.
Yeah.
It just is inevitable that usually happens.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it was really that because our manager was, she freaked out on my guitar player when we opened for Peter Chris's band because he wore a black hockey jersey instead of what we normally wear, and just petty shit like that. We were like, there was a lawsuit against our old name right before it ended, and I didn't feel like digging up those old worms, and we also thought starting fresh would be a good thing, so we changed the band name to Apocalyptic Lovers, and some people are offended by the name, but we thought it was kind of funny, because really the name is a play on words. It's kind of meaning to us, like the apocalyptic is our opinion of what the music industry is.
Okay.
And the lovers part is like us loving what we do, even though it's so screwed up.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we came about with that. And in the Redemption Volume 1, it's Redemption. It's 1 and 2, and we're gonna keep doing more EPs after that. But 1 and 2 it's really called Redemption because we are making up for that last album we did. We're re-recording, re-writing, all that stuff, and adding 2 new songs to each EP.
Right.
And we have enough material from in the past and new material. My guitar player is all the step writing. We've got enough material to do about probably 8 to 10, 6 to 8 song EP.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
so we're
And that's what happens sometimes in music. A new type of music comes out, and it's all the rage, and people don't want to listen to the music they were listening to before, and sometimes you just get kind of in that spot, and it sounds like that's what you were in right then, and so a good time to take a break.
Wrong time, and we were like wrong place, wrong time, and that what's nice is it's kind of starting to feel like the right place at the right time now. It's like fashion; it all comes in a cycle, you know. And I just now about a couple of years ago, I knew something was going on because seeing 15, 16-year-old kids, even 13-year-old kids, with like Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love T-shirts on and Cinderella Night Song shirts on. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
People love, the younger people love 80s music. They love it. And the bands that are making the newer versions of 80s style, I call it 80s style music, because they're making new music, and I think that's absolutely amazing. And I grew up in the 80s. I'm a big 80s music fan, and to hear the older bands coming back and making new CDs, and I mean, I think it's just a great genre of music to be brought back.
Well, that's why you and I have a mutual friend in Kurt.
Yes.
Our80sradio.com. It's great. I listen to them all the time. I love the stuff they play on there.
Yes. And he is doing a great service bringing us all the 80s music, new and old, because he is wonderful at working with newer artists too as well. Trying to keep that.
He's a nice guy and he's great to work with.
Keeping the music alive.
Too. Yes. His voice is great and his production value is great too. So he's great to work with too.
Yes, he is very, very great to work with, and he actually.
Where's my money?
Yeah, he actually had you call me, so that was awesome, and I've been on his show and I've interviewed him, so it's kind of cool. But he is really wonderful with playing the older bands as well as helping out newer bands, and really a great guy. And so we're giving Kurt a shout out here. So that's good. So David, you've been naming many bands you love. If you had to go out on tour with one band, who would it be? Who would your dream band be?
It is so easy to answer right now because there was just something announced. That it's the easiest thing in the world to announce. Because I think we could all be very happy playing 6 shows, and we could quit and retire and never play again. And do you know what those 6 shows are?
I think it's got to be Iron Maiden.
Nope.
No?
The original lineup of Dokken has reformed, and they are playing 6 shows over in Japan. Number one, we've always all wanted to play in Japan because that's just one of the things you always want to do when you're in a metal band. Play Japan. I mean, one of my favorite all-time records of any genre is Cheap Trick live at Budokan.
Yes.
You know, and that's made me always want to play there. I always wanted to visit there. And they are doing 6 shows in Japan only, and they're not doing it anywhere else. They're done after that, and he's going back. Don's going to go back to his own lineup. Jeff's going back to Foreigner, and Nick's going back to, I think he's out with Ted Nugent or something, I can't remember. You know, and I think if we could open for all 6 of those shows in Japan in the fall, that would just be like heavenly.
That would be, so your dream band would be Dokken, but I know that there are other bands too that you would like to play with, because you've mentioned several of them. So
yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, you know, I would love to be on the Farm Rock, those bills with all those bands, because it would fit us perfectly. But I mean, to be on the road, if I could play out once or twice a month with bands we love, I mean, you know, Lynch Mob is back out there doing some big spot dates here and there. I would play with the new version of Dokken, you know, even on some spot dates. Like, who wouldn't want to open for Iron Maiden?
Right, so many great bands out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, Guns N' Roses is back together with some of their members. It was so awesome to see them invite their original drummer back up on stage, because I was a little skeptical about the 3 of them just going out as Guns N' Roses, so that was nice to see.
I did see them. I actually saw the first show for Guns N' Roses. They opened in Detroit, and I did go to that show, and it was phenomenal. It really was. They just did an amazing job, and so that was nice to see. you know, them working together and making it such a great show for people again.
Cool.
So
I could probably let me answer your question just for based on the other guys if I had to guess. I'm not sure. George is very eclectic and likes a lot of different rock, classic, and new. So I'm not sure what George would want. Mike Nagy on bass, I know for sure he'd want to open for Kiss. He's the biggest Kiss fan I've ever met in my entire life.
Okay.
I think if Tony Harnell and TNT go back on their own, I know for a fact Rob, my singer, would like die to open for them. Tony's like one of his favorite singers.
Okay.
And then Sean, my guitar player, he's a big, huge, George Lynch fan. So I think he and I fall in the same category with the Dawkins bit and George Lynch Mob bit. So those bands for sure.
They're all great bands. Couldn't go wrong with any of them, right? Kiss is actually back out on tour now, so they're going to be here back in Michigan too in a few weeks here. So, but we are excited about you coming back to the Youngstown, Ohio area, and you have your new EP, you have your videos out. And what's next for you, and where can we find you? I'm sure you're on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, all of those things.
I mean, we've got all your standard social media, but we like to push people to our main hub because we have a really great easy-to-use website where you can find all that information very easily. And the link, so just our bandname.com. So it's just www.apocalypticlovers, that's an S on the end, apocalypticlovers.com. And it's a great website. It's got all the social media links there. It's got video. It's got audio. One of my favorite parts of it, I mean, we post a lot of the reviews on there. And we have a news section. But one of my favorite parts is the gallery, because we have 3 of them. And one gallery was and will be updated of current stuff, how we are now. One is Love and War from back in the day.
Okay.
So anybody who used to come see Love and War and the photos have been cleaned up and really they look new, so it's good quality. It's just a whole bunch of different stuff from Love and War back in the day. And then there's also another one called Backstage Pass. When I was working for a record chain, I worked. I worked there to help our band a lot, and I met a lot of people.
Okay.
There's a lot of photos with me and
nice.
Alice Cooper and all that stuff, and you name it.
And fans love to see that. I know I love to see that. I love to go in and see that kind of stuff. And
we try to make our site as fun as possible, not just like blah, So we figured they'd like to see that. So it's just old Love and War stuff. There's stuff with me and a lot of famous musicians, and then the current stuff too. So people can go there and check that out. And then our plan for the future is to hopefully play. We're trying to book some major markets. Like we would like to play at least one show in New York, one in LA. We'd love to play at Vamp in Vegas. We're very interested in doing the Monster of Rock cruises. We're very interested in doing the farm rock shows. So if we could pull off one of each one of those and do like 6 or 7 shows like that before 2016 ends, that'd be great, because in the early 2017 we'd love to go back in with Michael Wagner and do Volume 2, because the songs are all ready. We have 8 songs ready to go for Volume 2.
So you are ready. You are ready to go and get another EP out. So so we will look for you. We will look for you on your website, on Facebook, all social media. We can go to iTunes and Amazon and buy your music, and we will. And for a few people, you have a few tickets left. If anybody wants to go to your website and buy tickets for the show in Ohio, they could still do that. So I really appreciate you talking with me, David. It was a pleasure, and
thank you.
Glad we all got to hear more about the band and what you're up to.
Well, we were very excited to hear that Access Entertainment was interested. So
yes,
we're glad to chat with you, and of course I'll invite you out to the show. So please come out if you can make it.
Yes, I hope I can. That would be awesome.
Cross our fingers that there will be more shows this year. We'll see what happens.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.